A part of the church lost its way a long time ago. Now, with mixed signals and media pressure, it's even trying to guide the papacy of LEO XIV. The signs are there, some are troubling, but we need to look at them carefully. To really get what's going on, you have to stick with it until the end. For weeks, the progressive media has been really pushing to show Pope Leo XIV as the natural successor to Francis. They describe him as fair, open to talking, not causing arguments. Every word he says is seen as proof that things will stay the same. They don't talk much about when he's quiet or his more careful actions, and they purposely ignore anything that might mess up the idea of a papacy that fits with the modern church's plans. The Pope has become something to talk about, rather than someone to listen to. And that's a clear danger. They don't want Leo to decide, but to decide for him who he should be. But to show this idea of things staying the same as before, there's a clear example: the recent bishop appointment in Australia. A bishop, known for putting pagan idols in the cathedral, supporting women becoming priests, and openly disagreeing with the church's moral teachings, got a promotion. Even though people protested and it caused a public stir, the appointment was still approved. It's not new that modern media has played a big part in recent popes' terms, but with Pope Leo XIV, the way they do it has gotten much smarter. It's not an attack, but a gentle push. It's not open criticism, but picking and choosing what to remember. Just a few days before the election, some progressive Catholic newspapers, the same ones who for years supported every change in church rules, started publicly reminding everyone that without their help, Leo would never have become pope. The message is clear. We helped you, now you have to return the favor. It's like blackmail, but dressed up as media support. Every choice the Pope makes is watched, weighed, and judged based on this supposed loyalty he owes. And the names are always the same: questionable cardinals, church meetings with certain plans, unwanted changes. If the Pope showed even a little bit of interest in old traditions, he would immediately be reminded of the debt he owes to those who supported him. But there's more at stake here. It's not just Leo who's under pressure. It's the very idea of the Pope's role. The media wants a Pope who fits their modern way of thinking. And anyone who doesn't go along with it is made to look bad, or even worse, completely forgotten. On the environmental front too, media pressure is felt strongly, pushing the church toward a story that's more and more in line with what's popular today. Taking care of creation is a Christian duty. There's nothing wrong, in fact, quite the opposite, with the church's commitment to using resources responsibly, to caring for the earth, to living simply. But that's not the point. The problem is the message being sent, and especially how it's spread by the media. The announcement that the Vatican aims to be the first state with zero emissions by 2050 was seen as a big deal. They talk about solar panels, electric cars, green renovations, using technical words that have slowly replaced religious ones. Pope Leo XIV, in a recent interview, brought up the importance of ecological conversion again, bringing back the bold yes and connecting ecology with fairness for everyone. A message that, even though it comes from good intentions, is immediately turned into a political idea in news shows, as if spreading the faith now depends more on energy reports than on saving souls. And this is where the break happens. When the church uses the world's words and symbols, even for good reasons, the risk is that its purpose gets changed. Conversion becomes an environmental word. The altar gives way to the ecosystem. Sin is against nature, not against God. They talk about being green, but not about God's grace, about climate impact, but not about judgment. And if there's one face that truly shows the changes in beliefs that many progressive church groups want today, it's Father James Martin. He's become the media symbol for a kind of church work that avoids judging anything morally. And in the name of being welcoming, he suggests a view of the church that doesn't correct, but rather confirms. It no longer tells the difference between a sinner and the sin itself. His growing fame isn't just by chance. He's invited to the most official events, welcomed with honors at the Vatican, and praised by secular media as someone who truly understands the real spirit of the gospel. But what's worrying isn't how popular he is. It's how he's systematically used to put pressure on the Pope. Data is never innocent. When it's picked, repeated, and spread by newspapers, talk shows, and commentators, it becomes a tool to push people. Not to make you think, but to steer you. Not to make things clear, but to distract, plant doubts, and turn public opinion into a moral rule. In May 2025, a Gallup poll said that about 2/3 of Americans are okay with irregular marriages. The same goes for the Pew Research Center's numbers. Among American Catholics, the support is about the same, and among Protestants, whether mainstream or historically black, the numbers don't change much. Only evangelicals still show some resistance. Numbers like these quickly become the main story, not to start a discussion, but to make it feel like it's already decided. It's like saying, people have already made up their minds, now it's up to the Pope to adjust. And this is where the pressure becomes subtle but constant. Pope Leo XIV is not explicitly asked to change the catechism. The idea of change is repeated through talk shows, editorials, and interviews. It's hinted that, to stay close to the people, it's necessary to make what was once clearly called sin seem normal. It's a proven method. Numbers are used to create a feeling, and that feeling is used to influence the church. And so, under the guise of listening, consent is demanded. Pastoral mercy is no longer enough. Doctrinal recognition is wanted. Silence is no longer tolerated. Caution is seen as a hurdle. Consistency as stubbornness. But polls never tell the whole truth. Behind every number are stories, hardships, and a reality that statistics miss. The church is called to understand beyond the numbers, listening to the voice of the Spirit and not just public opinion. Pope Leo XIV is at a crossroads today. On one side, there are the hopes of those who have cheered him on as the face of a big change. On the other side, there are the hopes of those who expect him to go back to the basics, to the truth that never changes. So far, the signs have been unclear. Some of his actions seem to wink at the world. Others, however, hint at a desire to slow down the fast-paced changes. But because of this, we can't make a final judgment too quickly. It's time for careful thought. It's a tough decision, especially when you see choices and statements that, for a Catholic who follows tradition, are simply unacceptable. And yet, even when things are confusing, we can't forget that God's plan guides the Church, even through tough times. If Leo XIV is meant to bring back the old ways, it won't happen overnight. It will take patience, it will take strength, and most of all, it will take a spiritual push that goes against the world. Quiet, prayerful, and faithful. What do you think? If you liked the video, comment Amen, and God bless you. In these confusing times, we must never lose hope. God's plan works even in the darkest moments. Let's trust in prayer, sure that truth will always find its way in the Church's story.